I have talked about some truly dark and disturbing pieces of media throughout this channel. However, there are still many more left out there, and it gets deeper and darker. So here is the dark and disturbing media iceberg. Rubber Johnny. Now this name may seem unusual. This video is for a strange music video, and it starts with a guy asking the alien, Johnny, some questions before Johnny eventually starts to hyperventilate, and then the music starts to play.
We're not really getting anywhere, are we, at the moment? Are you seeing something? Is there something you see over there? What do you see there, Johnny? Strange. I'm with you, nothing's going to happen to you. Just calm down now. Just try to relax, try and keep calm, don't tense up like that. Just relax.
The music was made by Aphex Twin and Chris Cunningham, and was actually believed to be real back in the early days of YouTube. This video may seem very unusual and creepy. In the early days of YouTube, many people thought this was some sort of video made by a serial killer to torment his victims, or someone who was truly insane. However, this isn't true, and was made by famous animator Syriac, who has gained a name for his unusual animations. Keffi advert. This advert was made by a German energy drink company called Keffi. It became very infamous in the early days of YouTube for people to prank their friends and make them scared.
Hi, I'm Getro, a YouTuber who today will dive into the disturbing media iceberg. Sorry if I pronounce any of the names wrong, I'm not very good at pronouncing things. I feel fantastic. This video was uploaded to YouTube in 2009. It is of a female robot singing a song called I Feel Fantastic. In the early 2010s, people spread the belief that the robot was created by a serial killer to torment his villains, and one shot of the backyard is where they were buried. However, this was not true. The robot was called Tara, the singing android, built by John Burgon as a project. There is nothing.
Red. There is nothing.
This video was uploaded in the early days of YouTube, but went viral before this. This video consists of a girl saying something in reverse and collapsing on a table before rising back up and saying, "There is nothing." The video was created as a project to say how the cycle of life continues, and there is nothing. Obey the walrus. was uploaded in the early days of YouTube. It consists of an edited video of a drag queen performer by the name of Goddess Bunny with a reversed version of Incy Wincy Spider in Russian play. Goddess Bunny sadly passed away in 2021. The video was infamous for creeping people out in the early days of YouTube and got its name as the last few seconds of the video feature the picture of a walrus. This video consists of Mickey Mouse in black and white walking down a street, looking more and more distressed as the video goes on over time. The video becomes more distorted with scary audio in the background. This video is part of a creepypasta which said if anyone watched it, they would go insane.
There's good reason for my glistening skin, and how I shine, and how my pores are so clean and clear. I eat little baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet. I spring from activity to activity. I love my job. I love my life. When you eat little baby's ice cream, you'll wink and nod and hug and high-five each other with great enthusiasm. This is a special time. Little baby's ice cream. Ice cream is a feeling.
This creepy advertisement was for the ice cream company Little Baby's Ice Cream. It was uploaded to YouTube in 2012 and became famous for people to react to, feeling awkwardness and sometimes even distress. The advert consisted of a woman made of ice cream eating herself, with wide eyes staring directly into the camera creepily. This video was uploaded to YouTube in 2010 and consists of a guy in red looking at the camera until he smiles for the last few seconds. However, the original video was uploaded in 2008 but was removed after 153 people who watched it stabbed their eyes out and sent them to YouTube's head office. However, this is all a fake creepypasta, but surprisingly, the original video was actually removed from YouTube for violating community guidelines and was uploaded in 2008, but the story is fake and the video isn't truly cursed.
Shay, are you still doing that hand thing? I heard you're doing the hand thing today. God, what is that? Shay, what is it? Hood. You've been doing this for 24/7. Shay, you've been doing the hand thing all day. I heard you were. Jordan told me you had been doing it on a sleeping bag earlier.
Shay St. John was made on YouTube in August 2006. This character was created by Eric Fournier, who sadly passed away in 2010. The backstory of Shay is that she was a model who lost her limbs in a train accident and rebuilt her body with model limbs from mannequins. The channel consists of odd videos and was viral in the early days of YouTube.
Hi Walter, I was at the mall today and guess what happened? I met the most wonderful girl. We went shopping at JCPenney's and she tried on a lot of clothes. and she ended up buying a whole lot of them, you know what I mean? And then we decided to go and take a look at some of the jewelry at K Jewelers, and she picked out this most awesome necklace, the most amazing necklace I've ever seen. And I know she wanted me to buy it for her because she kept on looking at me and kept on giving me that look, you know the look. And then we got kind of tired of the mall, and I brought her back to my place. And I know she hates cameras, Walter, but I'm gonna show you her anyways. You ready?
Why are you doing this? No!
This video, titled Hi Walter, was uploaded in 2009 and was believed to be linked to the missing persons case of Kayla Berg. The police investigated this and the people in the video. However, it was revealed that this was made by students as part of a college project. This video, titled Happy Anniversary, was uploaded to YouTube in 2016 and consists of a creepy old guy laughing at the camera. The video description says, Happy Anniversary, 112 Dirtbag. This seems to be a reference to the missing persons case of Maura Murray, who went missing after a car crash on Route 112. The man was investigated by police, however nothing was found, and the video had no connection to the case except for the reference and the description.
Jonathan G. This was a trend going around TikTok, which was similar to the Momo and Blue Whale Challenge. The Blue Whale Challenge was created in Russia and consisted of 50 days of challenges until the last day, where you were supposed to jump off a building. This challenge claimed at least one person's life. In 2020, a similar challenge returned called Jonathan G. Many accounts were made on TikTok and messaged young teenagers and children to do their challenge and would threaten to dox them if they didn't. The origin of the photo is from a cosplayer by Dusky Sam in 2012. Sadly, these games have resulted in deaths by young children. Megan is Missing Barrel. Megan is Missing is a movie created by Michael Goy in 2012. The movie became popular on TikTok in 2020 and became infamous for the barrel scene and two photos towards the end of the movie. The barrel scene consisted of a character, Amy, being forced into a barrel with Megan's decomposing dead body and was then buried alive. Slenderman. Now I'm sure you've all heard of Slenderman. The Slenderman creepypasta started July 31st, 2012 after a photograph was uploaded to a Photoshop contest. The story was then further developed and led into a game called Slender, the 10 pages even being made. In 2014, Morgan Gracer and Anisha Were had a sleepover with her friend Peyton Lutner. The next day they stabbed Peyton 19 times. Thankfully she survived and made a full recovery. The girl did this because they believed that Slenderman would kill them if they didn't. Morgan was sentenced to 40 years in a psychiatrist hospital and Anisha was released earlier this year.
Darby Vanity. If you were on YouTube in the late 2000s and early 2010s, then the chances are that you have heard of Darby Vanity. He was the lead singer of a popular scene band, Blood on the Dance Floor, and started his internet career on MySpace being a hairstylist. However, years later, it was revealed that he didn't know anything about styling hair and wore a wig. Darby used his popularity on the platform to make his band in 2006, alongside Christopher Mongillo and Rebecca Fugati, who both left the band after their first album was released. They were replaced by Garrett Ecstasy, whose sister was dating Darby at the time. They became quite popular, going on to release 3 EPs and then 1 album, and going to tour to promote this album. During one of the shows in the tour, the police arrived and dragged Darby off stage and arrested him after a report had been filed that he had RPD'd a girl before the concert after attempting this with another 16-year-old. Darby was unable to complete the rest of the tour as he was jailed, leading to Garrett to continue the tour on his own. However, Darby was bailed out by his father. It was also reported long before this that Darby had sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl. However, the parents didn't press charges as long as Darby stayed away from her. Garrett left the band in 2009, leading to the formation of the most recognisable lineup of the band, as he was replaced by Javon Monroe. In 2010, Jessica Leonhardt, aka Jessie Slaughter, who was 11 at the time, made a post on the website Sticky Drama, claiming that Darby had engaged in sexual acts with her. She would get hate from the toxic fans of the band who defended Darby, and the infamous video of her and her father responding to them would be posted, which Darby and Jay recreated mocking them.
This is Harry Potter, and this fucking guy's ruining my life, and I know my shit is falling down, and fucking call me a whore for it.
Don't be saying so, it's fine!
You guys are ruining my life.
That's one! I have nothing nice to say about my daughter! Turn on to I'm recording this! I report you to the cyber police! And the state police! And whoever will be my daughter, you will have to deal with the police! You done goat!
Darby tried to convince his fans that the allegations against him weren't true. However, he eventually became more well known as a predator than a music artist. Videos also emerged of Darby being inappropriate to his fans, who were mostly teenagers.
Yes! Give me your applause right now. Give it to them. Give me all your applause. I want them all. Give me your applause right now! I want the applause. You see this thing? Give them to me right the fuck now. Don't be a prude. Don't be a prude. Give me that Hello Kitty. Give me that Hello Kitty. I want it. Here we go.
Darby had also made sexual advances to other women who he had worked on music tracks. Javon Monroe left the band in 2016, and he also accused Darby of being abusive towards him. After Chris Hansen launched an investigation against Darby in 2020, many more women came out accusing him of sexually assaulting them, bringing the total number of women to 21. All of them said how Darby was cruel, violent and controlling. However, despite this, and even being investigated by the FBI, Darby is still free. He still posts songs to his YouTube under the new name Kawaii Monster, and has an Instagram and TikTok account. He is also still reportedly talking to underage girls online, but now, everyone who was a fan of the band have grown up and realised how sick and twisted Darby Vanity really is.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you.
In June 2021, a video was uploaded to YouTube of a creepy looking guy seemingly responding to questions to someone on the other side of the door at a house he was at. The man was called Christopher Sums, and he had gone to a house in Las Vegas where a woman was home alone. He would go to the door seemingly asking and answering questions. However, he was only talking to himself. After the husband of the woman checked the doorbell, he came through on the microphone asking the man what he was doing. The man then stated,
Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to rape her and kill her. Do you have her open the door?
After the man walked away, he was spotted and arrested the next day, and when asked who he was, he said he was the Holy Spirit. The man was sent for psychological evaluation.
Classroom, or in old language a couple thousand years ago, disciples. Those who are trying to prepare themselves for entry into the evolutionary level above human, synonymous with the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven. We're going to talk to you about the most urgent thing that is on our mind, and what we suspect is the most urgent thing on the minds of those who will connect with us.
Escape was a cult led by the man in this video called Doe. The cult believed that the human body was a shell, and they had to die to leave this planet and go to heaven. This videotape was made for people to join the cult. In late March 1997, all the members were found dead from SCD, the total number being 39. The website for the cult is very much still active and still posts regularly.
A helicopter crash near Magic Mountain today brought tragedy to the set of the Steven Spielberg movie The Twilight Zone. Actor Vic Morrow and two small children were killed when the chopper came down as they were shooting a war scene.
The shooting stage of the movie The Twilight Zone, there was a planned scene of a bombing of a Vietnamese village. Actor Vic Morrow was supposed to rescue two children and run across a riverbed. There was a helicopter on the set of that scene that day, and one of the blasts accidentally sheared off the tail shudder, which hit Morrow and the two children, killing them instantly. The footage of this is still available on YouTube. However, I cannot show it here. This tragic incident is still remembered as being one of the worst accidents in movie history.
Amin Meaves.
My name, Amin Meaves. I was born 1961. I'm computer engineer from Rothenburg, Germany. I killed a man, slaughtered him and ate him. Since then, he is always with me.
March 9, 2001. In Rothenburg, Germany, 39-year-old Armin Meaves met with a 39-year-old Bert Bandes met up. This was after they had organised on a website called the Cannibal Cafe, where Mervis had put an advert for someone to be killed and eaten by him. After many people backed out after realising how truly twisted he really was, Bandes eventually saw the post and signed it up, as he had a fetish for being eaten. After they went to Mervis' house, Armin cut off Brandy's and cooked it, but it was burnt, so he ended feeding it to his dog. Brandy's then sat in a bathtub for 3 hours bleeding out as Meaves read him a Star Trek novel. Armin then cut up Brandy's body and kept him fresh in the freezer, which he reportedly consumed 20 kilograms of. Mervis made a post on the Cannibal Cafe describing what he had done. Someone reported Mervis, which led to him being arrested. The police found a tape of the full incident in Mayfie's house, and the only time it was shown was during Mayfie's trial, which flawed journalists needed therapy after watching it. Armin was sentenced to 8 years for manslaughter. However, in a retrial in 2005, he was sentenced to life in prison for murder, but he still remains there till this day. Stephen McDaniel. Lauren Gidlings was a 27-year-old law student at Mercer University and would frequently talk to her family. However, on June 22nd, she lost contact with them and was reportedly missing for 4 days later. The apartment was searched to no avail. However, the police would spray luminol in a last-ditch attempt for any evidence, and they got results. The bathtub was full of blood, which was identified as Lawrence, turning this into a murder case. In the trash can, the torso of the body was found, which was identified as Lawrence. One of the people of interest in this case was Lauren's neighbour, Stephen McDaniel. In an interview, the reporter informed McDaniel that a body had been found where he is seen clearly agitated here as anyone would be. However, it wasn't for the reason you would think. This video was recorded by McDaniel, stalking Gidlings through the windows to see if she was asleep in her room. Then, using a master key he had stolen, he snuck into Gidling's room while she was asleep. Stephen strangled Lauren to death. Then he dragged her body to the bathroom, dismembered her, placed her body into different trash bags and different dumpsters. Although the sad death of Lauren is truly tragic, we rest know that McDaniel will rot in prison, and this video remains as one of YouTube's most disturbing. The Panama Girls. This photograph is of Lizen Froon and Chris Kremers. They were two Dutch students who travelled to Panama to volunteer at a school. However, their volunteering was pushed back, so one day the girls decided to go hiking at the El Pianista Trail, which they were supposed to do the next day with a guide. They were told not to go into a certain part of the trail and come back the way they came, as this was said to be too dangerous without a guide. The girls took some photos at the top, and then they decided to carry on going where they were advised not to. Some more photos were taken, which were disturbing, with Chris looking at the camera scared. This was the last confirmed photo of Chris alive. After being missing for over 10 weeks, a backpack was found next to the ravine, which contained a shocking discovery. The backpack contained 2 pairs of sunglasses, $83, Froon's passport, Froon's camera, 2 bras, and both women's phones, and all were still in good condition. On Froon's camera, some more disturbing photos were found, such as one taken in the middle of the night on April 8th of a bloodied back of Kremer's head. It was also discovered the girls had made multiple attempts to call emergency services, but either had no signal or disconnected. 2 months after this discovery, a shoe was found, which contained Lisner's foot. Along with this, 33 bones scattered. Froon's bones still had the skin attached, but Fremers had appeared to be bleached, suggesting she was murdered. The case remains unsolved to this day. Many theories. However, now it has appeared to have gone cold, and we will never truly know what the girl's fate was.
This disturbing YouTube channel titled Mr. Sleepy People was created in 2011 and uploads creepy videos of a man creeping up to people who appear to be asleep and then opens their eyes. However, the people are still asleep. This may seem like some sort of creepy art project or performance, however this is all indeed real. One of the titles for the videos was called Bree Drunk and Passed Out, which also consisted of her being asleep and the guy opening her eyes. There were many more videos of women and girls uploaded to this channel, which all consisted of the same content. This channel has now been removed from YouTube, and it is unknown who was behind the channel and what happened to the people involved. However, the person behind the camera's actions are truly sick and twisted.
At Sarasota Memorial Hospital. In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV40 presents what is believed to be a television first.
Christine Jabuk was a news presenter who worked for WXLT TV News. On the 15th of July 1974, Christine was doing a regular news report where all was going well until she got to a story about a girl who was shot and was recovering. After this story, she would go on to say, "Sticking with WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV40 presents what is believed to be a television first, in living colour, exclusive coverage of an attempted." Christine would then pull out a gun and turn it on herself live on TV. The footage is kept, however, it is locked away in a secret vault and will never be released to the public. However, the audio is still available on YouTube to this day.
Tommy Cooper's death. Tommy Cooper was a well-known famous comedian in the UK. On the 15th of April 1984, Cooper was giving a performance at Her Majesty's Theatre in London. During his set, he collapsed backwards and was heavily breathing. The audience laughed, thinking that this was part of Cooper's performance. However, they didn't know that this wasn't an act at all. They were laughing at a man dying. Cooper suffered a cardiac arrest during his performance. After the crew realised, they rushed Cooper to the hospital where he sadly died. The video is still available of Cooper's last performance. He is still remembered as one of the best comedians in UK history.
In 2020, many sick individuals would post normal-looking videos on TikTok, which would then suddenly turn to a clip of a man turning a gun on himself. They would often be disguised as normal-looking dance videos and were meant to traumatise kids using the platform. The man in the video is 33-year-old Ronnie McNutt. He went live on Facebook, where he received a call from someone who was rumoured to be his girlfriend. He then turned to the camera and said, "Hey guys, I guess that's it." He then turned the gun on himself and passed away instantly. People spreaded rumours suggesting Ronnie did this because his girlfriend broke up with him. However, this was all fake lies, and his friends said he did this because he was suffering with PTSD and depression.
Video 1444. The video is similar to Ronnie McNutt's video, as this would be posted around TikTok. In the video that was taken in 2019, a teenager Russian male would sit on the couch with a shotgun, saying a quote, and then shoot himself. This video was originally uploaded to YouTube and was left up for 3 days before being removed for violating community guidelines. The teenager in the video was identified as Gleb Koroblov, and the rumoured story is that he decided to end his life after an argument with his girlfriend. The whole instance was live streamed on Russian social media, VK.
throughout this iceberg, we have talked about some truly dark and disturbing pieces of media. However, this is what I believe to be some of the worst pieces of media, and it gets no more disturbing than here. Trey Sessler was a YouTuber who created his channel in September 2006, which was called Lenscat Productions, and originally consisted of him and his friends making short comedy sketches. He then switched his content to anime reviews, which gave him the infamous nickname Mr. Anime. Trey started uploading some concerning videos, such as his review for High School of the Dead, where he held a gun for the entire video, and in another case, where a clearly intoxicated Trey tested a rifle on an old couch.
Video game reviews, you can call me the guy that does all the gun stuff now. What I have here today to show you is a High Point. Now, for those of you that are familiar with High Point, you might have a very low opinion of them, or you might have a high opinion of them. I think they're pretty decent, especially for the price. I have here a very classic at $9.95.
Trey would then upload a video where he stated that he had a new job in film and he would not be uploading as frequently anymore. However, this was a lie, and Trey would go on to do a truly unforgivable act. In the early morning of March 20th, 2012, Trey would lure his mother into the garage where he shot her at point blank range. He then went back in the house and shot his father and brother. All were dead instantly. Trey then destroyed the house and carried guns and hundreds of ammunition to Waller High School. His plan was to kill over 70 students at the pep rally, which would make him the biggest mass murderer in history. However, Trey got cold feet after it set in what he had done, and he confessed this to a friend, who called the police on Trey. This led to his arrest. Trey avoided the death penalty, but was given a life sentence, and he still remains in prison to this day. Andrew Blaze, real name Randy Stair, started on YouTube in 2008, doing comedy sketches similar to that of Trey Sessler. Randy didn't do very well on this channel, and he began an obsession with the character Ember McLean from Danny Phantom.
But this ghost, this woman always connected with me ever since I first saw her. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I have my phone on top of my camera. I keep forgetting I gotta look here. But ever since I first saw her, something changed. And it wasn't like I grew up or anything like that. Like I realized, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to girls and all this. No. It just, something changed. It was like a spark. And it just connected with me. It made me feel warm inside. And it felt very familiar, which was strange. It was like I'd seen her before. But at the time, it was a brand new show.
Randy then decided he wanted to die and be reincarnated as a ghost girl. And the characters he had created in the series Ember's Ghost Squad, he wanted to be reunited with them. In one video, Randy flipped a coin 3 times to determine if he would kill himself at his house or take others with him and do it in the supermarket he worked at.
You believe in fate? Here's the fate test. I'm gonna flip this 3 times, or the best out of 3 rather, and if it's heads, I'll do it here. If it's tails, supermarket. That's a tails. See that? Clearly tails. Ooh, one of each. Tension's building up. Tails. That is a tails, folks. Tails. Which means there's going to be a loss of a human life besides my own.
On the early morning of June 8th, 2017, Randy blocked the exits to the supermarket and killed 3 co-workers and then himself. Just before Stair did this, he uploaded a media fire page to his Twitter, which contained hours upon hours of footage of his descent into madness. Despite this page being taken down, the videos still remain on YouTube and show Randy's descent into insanity. This channel was only discovered last year, despite it being live since 2011, and feature videos of a black screen and a voice talking to the camera. The person behind the camera and the channel, and the person talking in the videos, was 20-year-old Adam Lanza, who would go on to kill his mother and then 20 students and 6 teachers at Sandy Hook Elementary School. In the videos on this channel, Lanza describes his thought and mindset clearly.
I hadn't cared enough about life to pursue anything, but I hadn't cared enough about death to kill myself. So I'd just been spending a lot of time moping. And I thought, why not participate on YouTube? That way I can fulfill my desire to express my hatred for culture and what it's done to me. And as I said in my video from about a week ago, there isn't really anything left for me to say regarding what culture is.
On December 14th, 2012, he would shoot his mother and then drive 5 miles down the road and shot into Sandy Hook Elementary. He would kill 6 teachers and 20 students. When the police arrived, Lanza turned a gun on himself. This channel is one of the darkest ever made, and it is disturbing to know that it was only discovered last year, despite Lanza being one of the most studied school shooters in American history. This means that there could be many more channels like this of killers or wanting killers on YouTube that are lurking in the shadows. These tapes must be some of the most disturbing and darkest ever made. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were students at Columbine High School in Colorado. On April 20th, 1999, they would enter their school in trench coats and boots, and would then shoot and kill 12 students and 1 teacher before turning the gun on themselves. CCTV footage shows how the students panicked, not knowing what was going on.
Teacher at Columbine High School. There is a student here with a gun. He has shot out a window. Okay, has anybody been injured, ma'am? Yes. Okay. Yes. And the school is in a panic, and I'm in the library. I've got students down under the table, kids. Heads under the table. I saw a student outside. I was in hall duty. Oh, God. Okay, I was on hall duty. I saw a gun. I said, what's going on out there? And he turned the gun straight at us and shot.
Before the attack, the killers filmed hours of footage of them, describing their mindset and thoughts clearly before the attack. The tapes were only seen by investigators and the victims' and perpetrators' families. It is now believed that the tapes are destroyed and are considered lost media. However, a short film the pair made, called Hitmen for Hire, is still available on YouTube, which has some warning signs in it. And they were also wearing the same outfits they were wearing during the attack on the school. The shooting is remembered as being one of the worst mass shootings in America, and also inspired many other shooters such as Randy Stair and Adam Lanza to commit their horrific crimes. Now, although this is the end of the iceberg, like the ocean, there are still many more out there, full of dark and disturbing content, and this is only scratching the surface of dark and disturbing media. Thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. Also, massive thanks to Jaffro for helping narrate this video. Sweet dreams.